Yeah, anytime you can add experience to a position group, no matter where it is, it just happened to be there this year from a number standpoint. I think it helps you, and it builds depth, and it creates competition. You look across college offenses nowadays, and, not too many people are playing with 2 or 3 or 4 tight ends, right? People play with wide receivers, and they want to be explosive. So to combat that as a defense, you got to find, defensive backs that can run, hit, tackle, cover, and really have a way to play all positions and really show versatility on the field. So I think bringing in defensive backs and allowing them to figure out, and compete and play where they're supposed to play, it's been great. And those guys have all played in games. They've all competed at a really high level in games. And they've assimilated themselves really well into our culture as a Duke football team, not only as a defense. So it's great to have those guys for sure.
Defensive backs. Excuse me, Brandon Johnson had a lot of success second half of last year as a blitzer. Without giving away the game plan, what's your general philosophy on when to blitz, the best time to blitz, who blitzes, where you blitz?
Yeah. I mean, I think, I guess speaking about Brandon Johnson and his versatility in and of itself, and I think, other guys, Jalen Stinson, and you talk about other guys that have the ability to do a lot of different things. And I would say week to week, it varies on when we want to blitz and how we want to blitz. There's no one blitz that we're just going to run each and every week. So it all based off of who we play and what we feel the best plan is. But we do feel like we have guys that are capable of doing those things and who are also capable to cover. So, we don't have to just send them on a blitz every time they're in there. They could bail out and cover. And I think create some variables when offenses see us do those things.
Terry Moore moved over to the defense. Jeremiah Lewis coming in. With Chubb's just creativity with maybe moving Brandon around. What does that safety spot look like right now that was vacated with Darius Joyner last year?
Yeah, I think it looks like exactly how you just explained it. There's a couple names, and we're still in fall camp, and it's been a fun fall camp just watching the safety position happen. And I think when you watch guys play and they compete, they bring out the best of each other. And that's the whole room. That's not just Terry Moore and Jay Lou. It's talking about really the whole room, including BJ, including Stinson, including everyone, and everybody has to step up their game. And I think that's ultimately what you want to create on a college football team, a really tight-knit group that enjoys competing with each other and understands that everybody is going to be on that field at some point. It's not like we'll play a game with 2 guys and 2 guys only. We rather rotate. If we can play 30 guys on defense, we'll play 30 guys. We just got to find the right 30 guys that can play winning football for us on defense. That's all we're worried about.
It's not quite game week, but what's your balance been like watching TCU offensive last year compared to Clemson offense?
Yeah, I think, purely Clemson is personnel based, right? You're watching those guys just to, see who they have coming back, see how they use them in the past, what are their strengths, what are the weaknesses. You watch some quarterback play, you watch O-line play. If they ever had the combination of the 5 going into the season, who were the starting 5, what did they look like playing together? And then outside of that, it's been all TCU and SMU from 2020, 2021, and then most recently 2022 at TCU for the offense. Just watching a little bit of everything.
Being in that state, are you a little more familiar with Garrett and what he's been running, or since they weren't on the schedule?
No, I wouldn't say that. I don't know Garrett Riley. I'm not really familiar with, we never had any crossover games, but for sure, knew the name, know the name through his brother Lincoln, and then Garrett. Obviously, they've both had elite offenses over the last couple years, so they're doing something right. So, and it's not hard to see when you watch it, oh yeah, this is how it's working. So, so no crossover, but you learn to respect it, rather early when you start to watch it.
Now that you've had a few months, what's the difference between Mike Elko, the assistant coach, and Mike Elko, the head coach?
No. No, he's kind of been like this since I met him. Obviously, he's not at the head of the defensive table anymore, but he's always had a a mind for the game of football, not just defense. Like, he understood the big picture of it, how it should work, how people should work together, and when to have the temperament of the team and how to control that, how to push like people through the hard moments in camp. And that was always like a big picture football thing rather than just defense. He's always gotten it, and from a big picture standpoint. I would say now he's just in charge of all the coaches instead of just the defense side of the ball, and he's in charge of all the players instead of just the defense. You know, and he's pulled in a lot of different directions now. I guess that would be the biggest thing is, you know, he's pulled all over the place. That's, you know, the head coach's duty. So that would be the biggest thing. But other than that, he's a leader of men. People want to follow him because he's got a plan, and you know, he knows how to execute it and get people to do the same. So.
Is that big picture understanding of football, I think his greatest strength as a coach, or not limits?
Yeah, I think he's a teacher. Probably his greatest strength is him being a teacher of not just players, but he knows how to teach coaches also. He sees the game a certain way, and he explains it that way, and he can paint a picture so that you understand it as a player and as a coach, so that you can ultimately, like, our job as coaches is, you know, to make sure his job's a little easier as a head coach. So if he sees things a certain way and he could teach us on why he sees it that way and how, our job is to start to think and act, you know, in the way that he wants us to think and act, so that we can, you know, put a product out there that he's looking for.
The linebacker room, obviously, Shaka Hayward here last year, but Cam, Trey, Dorian kind of saw quite a few reps last year. Anything underneath those guys as far as the depth?
Yeah.
You mentioned wanting to run as many guys out on defense. Anybody stood out?
No, I think Nick Morris has had a really good spring and fall camp. The guy's been really consistent. He's learned, you know, both positions at linebacker, and he's really just been like steady Eddie throughout the whole thing. He's brought a blue collar work ethic to the linebacker room, and he kind of just goes about his business, and he gets better every single day. So really happy with his, you know, his performance and the way that he's coming along. And I think he's got a bright future at the linebacker position also.
Coach Elko mentioned earlier that Niners is having a pretty good offseason as far as transforming his body on and off the field. What have you seen from him this offseason as far as improvement from last season to now?
Is that Peebles you're talking about? Yeah. Give it to you like this, like the transformation of his body. He takes his shirt off at walkthroughs now at night. So, you know, he plays center, so he's calling the huddle. He has his shirt off. He's snapping the ball. So he's feeling confident about it. No, but I think you see it, like, not only does it help you play football at a higher level, but I think it builds another level of confidence to you as a young man. And I think that's always important, to play this game with confidence, to walk around with confidence. And I think he's doing that at a high level right now, and his performance on the field is matching that. So it's been good.
One of the keys to big success last year was turnover, differential as they did get on the block. What are you doing to ensure that your defense keeps forcing turnovers?
Yeah, we try to be as intentful and as purposeful as we can when we talk about turnovers, when we teach how to take away the football, when we practice it each and every day. That's what we try to do. Like, there is 100% like intent behind how we teach it. There's a reason, there's a purpose. That's all I can do. So what I can control is how we practice it, how we preach it, how we watch it from practice, and then is it being done by the kids when we go practice. And I think our kids have done an unbelievable job of what we call disrupting the football in practices. And that's all I could ask for. You know, will that always turn out to 26 takeaways in a season? I don't know. I don't know that. But I know that we are practicing it the right way. We are attempting takeaways the proper way. And outside of that, like, I think that will lead to some luck. And, you know, you create your own luck in this game by practicing with purpose and having a plan on how you attack. So I think we're doing that.
How nice is it to step through defense when you have a player like Blake Carter who can really bolster the middle?
Yeah, it's great. You know, it's great to have older guys. It's great to have guys that have game experience. They've been in battle. Anytime you have those guys, like, it helps because they know what it's like. And, you know, you can almost, like, lean on them like, hey, there's some new guys out there. You know what happened to you the first time you were out there. Make sure that they're calm. Make sure they breathe. And after 2 snaps, like, get them calmed down so that they can play. And I think that transcends into meetings, into practice. Every aspect of our program is led through the leaders of our program, and Dwayne is one of them. So it's really nice to have him in the defense. He's been unbelievable as a kid, as a leader, as a football player. And, you know, I'm really excited to watch these guys go perform this year.
Going back to the turnovers, that was a huge part of the success that you guys had in year 1 of the football system. I'm curious to know, like in year 2, you know, you obviously want to keep the turnover margin as high as you did. What's another stat that you know we might be surprised about that will help to success with you guys here in year 2 outside of the turnover margin?
Yeah, I think conversion down for us on defense, any 3rd and 4th down, understanding situations, understanding how to defend them, having a plan very specifically built for each opponent. I think that's a place that we can make major improvements. You know, total defense a year ago, there were some jumps. You know, I think we went from whatever 120th to 72nd or something like that. Scoring defense, we were pretty good in the jump that we took. I think that we just need to focus on those little, like taking the next step. The one that stands out to me most would be 3rd down. So 3rd and 4th down conversion downs. You know, really becoming a really good 3rd and 4th down defense, I think, is really important. If we can combine that with some takeaways, I think that will be our next step to taking the next step that we need to as defense.